This is strictly an observational kind of video. You might get something out of it, you might not. I'm going to talk a little bit about bows. I'm going to talk a little bit about guns. I'm going to talk a little bit about motorcycles. So I think that, it passes a litmus test for the people I want to watch this video. So there I was, on my day off eve. I'm going to sleep in until 7, I told myself. I'm just going to live like I'm a millionaire. And at 4 o'clock, I think Roger was having a cat fight with another cat outside my window. Because my window's open. I love it, coming off of summer, hot weather. So what if it gets down into the upper 40s at night? I'm digging it. Have the window open, feeling the breeze, feeling cold air in the bedroom, underneath the covers. It's awesome. Love it. Woke up at 4 because of cat fights. And I thought it was my porch cats downstairs fighting, but they were concerned. They were sitting on this stool, all lined up, the 3 of them. What the hell's happening outside? Why do cats fight? They're sociable. They're good felines. They kill small things. And they beg whenever I'm cooking bacon. But they don't cause problems amongst each other. They're civilized. They're little civilized killers. So I'm up there, or down there, basement. I got to get used to having a 2-story house. Used to ranch houses. But I went from the upstairs to the main floor, sitting there on the couch, flipping through YouTube shorts. Fully aware that these things are bad for our minds. That's why you look back, if you're my age or your age, you old fart, and you think, boy, TV was better, and you go and you watch Good Times, or any other classic old show that you used to like, and it just doesn't do it for you. Because we've been, over years, amped up to we need more endorphins flowing through our minds, so we're just flipping through the shorts. It's bad. It's bad stuff. But we are an addictive species. And chemically, things happen in your brain, so we get used to all this overstimulation. Everything has to be faster, it has to be bigger, it has to be better. And I found this video. He's an honest guy, right? He's just a guy. It's in the archery. And he's going, it's amazing, the difference in accuracy between compound bows and recurve bows. So he's shooting recurve bows, doing all right, Not a Byron Ferguson or a Norm Blaker kind of guy, it's kind of, the arrows are in different spots and they're penetrating about halfway. Then he breaks out his compound bow and, and I had a compound bow. I gave it away because a mechanical failure, and my recurve bows never fail, or my primitive bows. It's just a stick and a string, basically. There's no gizmos or gadgets. The rest somehow got bumped, and it's making arrows wing off to the side. Different story. And there's all these people. I kind of understand it, but they've been modernized into bigger, faster, better, Whereas I'm older, slower, and as long as it gets you there, kind of a guy. And they're, well, that's a 70-pound compound bow and a 35-pound recurve. And he should have used a 70-pound bow for both of them because look at the penetration. The compound bow is, dudes, I'm going to break it to you. A 70-pound bow is not a 70-pound bow because of efficiency. Whatever. The compound bow is going to deliver greater force, greater speed, greater penetration than a recurve bow. That's just the fact of life. You're going to, with the sights on a compound bow, like moi, I had 5 pins on mine, up to 80 yards, just because. The long ones, I would never hunt more, because by the time the arrow hits the deer, could have moved. But it was fun to set up and hit 6-inch groups at 80 yards with my compound bow. I could never do that with a recurve bow or a primitive bow. That's just a fact of life. But you're not hunting at that distance. You don't need to have the aerial fly through the animal and wind up in the next county to make it an effective kill. You don't. So relax, people. Accept the fact that a compound bow is going to be more accurate for, generally. You're saying, well, some people can hit a 1-inch group at 30 yards with a recurve bow. Well, I bet you those people could Robin Hood arrows at 50 yards with a compound bow. Whatever. Let it go. The recurve and the primitive bows work. So what, if the compound bow is superior in performance? Who cares? It's the same way. There's not a single motocross bike made in 1975 that could keep up with one made in 2024. Whatever. But you're still going to make it around the track on that older bike. The new ones are just superior in performance. They just lack character and, relax. We're not looking for the best when we look towards the past. We're looking for what works. And then I saw this one. This, I kind of took personally. Excuse me. We all recognize this. I've got a Heartland 10 round magazine on it that is flawless. I could put my standard one on so it holds 5, but this guy was talking about how this is garbage. This is trash. It's just, and he was, firing it where polish the bolt, clean all the cosmoline out of here, aside from the fact that this thing has been in battles for 133 years. 133 years this thing has worked. If you look up, I'm just going to sit down here. If you look up snipers, the top 20 snipers, number of hits, credited to them. There's snipers that have used this rifle right there that are in, the top 20. Just saying. Of course, that's not going to have the performance of, an AR or whatever. The thing is still being used over in areas that are not here. 133 years. In a comment, I left a comment on the guy's channel. I wasn't mean to him, but I said, that old thing has been in service for over 100 years. I think you calling it garbage speaks more about you than the rifle. Now let's get back to the motorcycles. I've covered this, that, and other thing. Random thoughts. $1 million idea. You know what is being lost nowadays? Is the ability to relace wheels. People can certainly relace wheels. You look at the charts, this is the size of your spokes. The pattern. There's multiple patterns when you're lacing wheels. But what is being lost is the number of people that can take, I've got this hub and I've got this wheel that wasn't matched with that hub. Can you lace it? And you literally have to Google who can custom lace wheels, because call any shop. I've got a hub and I've got this rim. Can you lace it for me? If it's not on the charts, I can't lace it. So this is an idea. Given the access to the interwebs, and advertising, I am a custom wheel lacer. If you can do that for bicycles and motorcycles, I bet you could make a handy living. People will send you a hub, they will send you a rim, and then you figure it out on your own. You ask them, they probably won't care. What kind of pattern do you want? Hey, I want the pattern that keeps that unit intact and it doesn't fold up while I'm riding down the road. Now the reason I have this is from a 1972 Kawasaki, and it actually has good chrome on it, is I bought this on eBay without a hub, without spokes, whatever, because I wanted to lace it onto the hub on this 1978 SR500. I thought having a 21-inch wheel would be cool, because that is, during my time when I wanted to get a hardtail kit, forgive me, I'm glad I didn't, because I like having a shock in the back, because Michigan and potholes. But I wanted to lace it, so I did my best to guesstimate what length spokes would go on it. So I took my wheel apart, took the hub off the rim, had my pile of spokes there, and I bought 2 sets of spokes because I was just guesstimating. And I still have them, and I still have the original rim on that hub. Because I took that front end apart and tried to lace it onto here, and it's like, geez, the spokes are the wrong length. So I put it back together. It's just taking a wheel, taking a group of spokes, and taking the hub is not witchcraft. It's not magic. It's not beyond your capability if you think things through, and you took a picture of it to get that original pattern to put it back together. And truing a rim is not that hard. But I'm thinking, this morning, when I'm thinking great thoughts, drinking my coffee, having my first skol of the day, yeah, I admit it. Whatever, we all have our vices. I don't gamble, I don't drink excessively, I just like dip a little skol once in a while. Great mood enhancer, I should say. But gosh, if you could, or if I could, yeah, as if I have time, because I want to produce fine bows. Analyze, research, calculate, learn how to do custom wheel lacing, advertise, and there would be, out of the millions of people in the U.S., not even counting foreign countries because of shipping, I'd probably have more business than I could use. I had to have a bike shop lace the rear hub. See, I had a hub I bought, and just the rim from that 1952 Huffy back there, bicycle. Took it to a bike shop, and the fellow, laced it. He didn't buy any new spokes because it's very particular, but he was able to make a set of spokes work on it. And he asked me, what kind of pattern do you want? Do you want it like 2-3 or whatever it is? I don't care. I want it to be solid. And he did it. I should have been able to do that. I should have been able to calculate the spoke length. And then, this is tricky. I'm going to give you some inside information here. Is that you can buy raw spokes, over length, cut them, using the die, thread them, and make your own spokes. It might be kind of hard with stainless steel, but we're mild steel kind of guys. Yeah. Now, what is up with this? I'm going to tilt the camera a little bit. Hopefully I won't knock my camera out of the Jorgensen. I was thinking that a dirt bike, even this little 100, has better handling off-road because there's a lot of trails around here, and I'm not going to Bob Hanna the thing and destroy it. And I've got a second engine that has a trash transmission and top end, but I also have a new full set of gears for the transmission for this thing. I've got extra parts for it, and I'm not good on electronics, but I'm pretty good, taking an engine apart and putting it back together. In fact, on my Penton, the 1975 250 I had way back when, it leaked a little bit, so I made new gaskets that joined the center of the 2 main cases out of cereal boxes. Just saying. But the 21-inch wheels handle better than, this is 1918. Handles better than the 19. But I'm looking at this thing, and it's like, ugh! This heavy thing, this is heavy, this is steel. Chromed steel, made in USA. On this, would add so much weight to the front end. If I'm gonna goof around and turn this thing into 2118, getting a bigger wheel for the back, I might as well go all the way or go home and pick up like an alloy rim, a light alloy rim, and put it on there. And get it just for the fun of it. I could probably pick up a new hub so I wouldn't even have to disturb this one and just relace a TC100 hub onto my alloy, kind of recreate that thing. Got an opportunity to get a new rear tire in too because the thing blew out yesterday or the day before. That's about all. I'm just going to throw in some, throw in a summation here. You know, bigger, faster, better isn't always necessary. Rethink, you know, your whole scheme on life. And also, the $1 million idea is you want to have some tidy way to make some extra money, right? Learning to lace wheels, especially motorcycle wheels with all the custom stuff happening out here. Yeah, that might be a possibility. Do your research, learn how to do it, learn how to calculate spoke lengths. And the tools and the materials are not excessive. It's not like setting up a wood shop, you know, or a welding shop or something like that. All you need is some way to calculate the spoke length and a few simple tools, including a truing bench. Not beyond our capabilities. Well, that is all. I hope you enjoyed this little bit in the randomness. I am enjoying this day. And just to add a little bit, this is already excessive speech. I'm at 17 minutes here. So I woke up at 4 and I came outside to see what was going on, you know, with the cat fights. See if Roger was okay. Now look up. And for a city, this really isn't a city. It's more like a little village. I look up and the night sky was amazing. The stars were just popping. I'm sure I could see a few planets. I haven't researched, you know, what's up there right now. What an awesome opportunity to drag out my telescope and look at some nebulae and some stellar fuzz, you know, Orion's belt. There's some cool stuff in there. Like, you're mad that you woke up early, but you come out and you see this beautiful night sky and you put things into focus that we are really kind of insignificant in the scheme of the universe. Kind of makes you feel better. Yeah. The Earth